Even after 3 years of marriage, the wife had never received any affection from her husband. Although they lived in the same house, he never showed the slightest interest in her. One day, while sitting beside him, she could no longer suppress her feelings and subtly tried to move closer. But in the very next moment, her husband angrily kicked her off the bed. "Go sleep on the sofa, or things won't end well for you," he said coldly. Humiliated, she quietly walked away and lay down on the sofa. But that very night, something strange happened. The man who had never even touched her suddenly found himself unable to sleep. He tossed and turned for hours. Finally, he quietly walked over, slipped under her blanket, and immediately fell into a peaceful sleep. The next morning, when the wife woke up, she found him lying beside her. Embarrassed, she asked, "How did you end up here?" The husband awkwardly replied that he must have wandered over in his sleep. Although she did not completely believe him, she chose not to argue. The same thing happened the following night. Once again, he brought his pillow and came over. This time, the wife suddenly opened her eyes and asked, "Are you sleepwalking again tonight?" The husband paused for a moment before coming up with another excuse. "My pillow isn't comfortable, so I came to switch it." Yet a little while later, he quietly fell asleep beside her again. The wife slowly began to realize something. He never touched her during the day, yet he could not sleep without being near her at night. Behind this strange behavior was a terrible secret. 5 years earlier, the husband had developed a serious illness. It had not only damaged his body but had also stolen his ability to sleep. During that difficult period, a young woman unexpectedly entered his life, and he found himself strangely drawn to her. What he did not know was that the woman was actually his own wife, whom he had married 2 years earlier but had never truly met. 2 years before, it was the wife's stepsister who had originally wanted to marry him. However, after learning that he was sick and considered unattractive, she forced the girl to take her place. The girl never wanted the marriage, but because of pressure from her father and fear for her sick mother's life, she had no choice but to obey. After the wedding, she lived alone in a separate room and rarely had any contact with her husband. One day, by pure chance, they met. Without knowing each other's identities, they gradually developed a connection. But the next morning, the husband failed to recognize her. Worse still, he mistook her for a stranger and offered her money. The humiliation shattered her heart, yet she still could not reveal who she really was. As time passed, the situation became even more complicated. The girl's father threatened her, saying that if she failed to bring her husband back, her mother's life would be ruined. With no other choice, she returned to her husband once again. This time, she concealed her true identity and tried to find a place in his life. However, the husband misunderstood her intentions and assumed she was only interested in his money. Meanwhile, her father cut off all financial support and gave her a cruel ultimatum. If she could not win her husband's heart within 1 week, everything would be over. From that moment on, their complicated relationship truly began. Though neither of them fully understood it yet, an invisible force kept pulling them toward each other.